What's up, people? Cypher here. Welcome back to the Lost Crusade. We are now currently going through the anniversary celebration, so I thought I'd make a little video reflecting upon the last year in terms of Lost Crusade and all the things that have gone on. A lot's gone on, you know, but I don't think I'm going to remember all of it. I should have put a notepad down somewhere. Yeah, we don't do stuff like that here, it seems anyway. Right, so one thing that I will say is that it has, over the last year, definitely got a lot more productive and a lot easier in terms of collecting RS or receiving rewards and such. Seems like the developers have, eased off a bit more in terms of giving. So it's because of that, it's been a lot easier for all these players to get to base level 40 and start getting T9s, working to T10s and such. It has been brilliant in that aspect. In terms of cons, I gotta admit, there hasn't been many cons, nothing that's been new of the last year, I think, let me ponder on that and I might, one might appear in a bit, but till then I honestly can't think of any cons that have conjured up through the last year. Everything's as standard as it should be and can be, and it's all pretty decent, and everything that's been adapted to, in my opinion, recently has all been for the better. It's all worked lovely. So let's use let's go into some examples, innit? I mean, we had the Skulls event, we've had many events that have been rolling through anyway, so they're not necessarily new. But we did actually have them roll through, and this time around, I personally gained a little bit more in terms of reward aspect off of it, especially resources. They seem to come through a lot easier nowadays. Still not perfect, but they're a lot easier. Now, one thing that they did do as well is we have now 3 Freeblade Knights. So that's been one of the additions that I'd definitely say is a benefit. Now we've got 3 deployments that could have a Freeblade Knight to it. It's just now you've got to try and up them all to the right level. But having 3 Freeblade Knights is amazing. Another aspect has been all the new heroes that have come through. One being this dude, Voldus. I mean, Drago as well. And we have a few others in terms of heroes. But we have had an influx of heroes come through, all being legendary status. Now, I think that it looks as though we're not going to be getting anything below legendary status anymore. Don't quote me, I couldn't say 100% on this, but it just does seem that way. In fact, there might be the way I can see this rolling is that the only way you can do this is increase and add another layer of rarity, which technically this game does have. You've got orange and then you've got red. So let's look to the future, innit? Another cool little feature is the Ascendancy War Zone, basically a mini Void Supremacy. Actually is a very fun thing to participate in. You just hold buildings and try and gain 3,000 points before your opponent can. If you do that, you gain nice rewards from it, and as I said, it's been a brilliant addition to the overall events that we get from Lost Crusade anyway. Saying that, I think the red gear has only been properly accessible within the last year, so this is something that's been added to it as new armor parts to make it a little bit more difficult for deployments and such. Were the Dark Angels released within the last year? I think so. I possibly it had to have been. I'm certain of it. I don't know now. I honestly, either way, new chapters. I'm pretty certain that within the last year, this was the new chapter that came forward. So, and for the better, this chapter right here is brilliant for Maelstrom. Super fun skill. You also had the addition of extra save deployments. You see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down at this bottom area here. Well, you push the refresh, then it takes you to 6, 7, and you can unlock more if you really wanted to. So that's happened definitely within the last year, and that is a brilliant addition. Now we've got up to 10 deployments that you could save. That's brilliant. That means one set could be used for your original sector, one set can be used for your Maelstrom, or you could use that in the same premise, but one for the original sector, one for your Void Supremacies. It is a really good aspect having multi-layer deployments slots like this. And Maelstrom this time around was for the addition of Crow. You gained Crow as a member, hero, should I say, through this Maelstrom. Last Maelstrom was, or the year before I think, was Sylvissa. So that was the new addition. It was brilliant, an extra character added to it. And the Maelstrom itself was definitely better than the first one. It was, in terms of the mechanics and the overall play of the event, it was a lot more fluent, and yeah, lessons had been learned, and it is definitely a fun event when done properly. Also, we have the introduction to T10, which is accessible via a really crazily hard method, but for obvious reasons. They're T10s. They're very, very, very powerful. So these ones, yeah, they came around during the Maelstrom, and definitely a difficult battle to get to. As you can see, I haven't actually got there yet myself, but it is one of those things, and I gotta admit that it is at least it's given us something to really do in the game, other than the missions that we got, you know, something that's a part of your base that you're working on rather than the missions themselves. So it was definitely refreshing in the way that it was brought forward as well. It's not like your standard troops. They were brought forward using an extra part of your research building, and then a whole new building was created for them, and now you have to use this new enhancement part, or enhanced part, which is the new RS that is used specifically to make T10, heal T10, and level up your research and level up the T10 building. So definitely lots and lots going through this year, and all of it to me personally was for the benefit. It was all stuff that worked out brilliantly and actually was very fun to play. Fluent, very little in terms of any type of problems. Though it was a bit of a shame that our sector didn't get merged, because we really do need a merge. It may not seem it, but we do. And I think that a few of the early sectors, none of them seem to have got merged, and I think they're the ones that really did want to call for it. So maybe that can change in the future, and we'll see. Now, well, that's all the information that I can actually bring to my mind right now for this video. I guarantee that I've missed out plenty of other things. For example, the reconstruction-esque of Maya, and her now having a new skill, that gorilla hunt skill. Is it gorilla hunt? I think it's gorilla hunt. Yes, gorilla hunt. Yeah. You know that I've obviously missed a ton of other things. If I've missed anything that you think is actually quite relevant for the video, please put it in the comments below, because the people watching this video, they can then check the comments and they'll see some more things that I haven't actually brought up that was, you know, beneficial, that came from the last year rolling through. So yeah, it'd be much appreciated if you could just leave some comments in the below here if I have missed anything, that is. Okay, well, I think that's all for me. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment if you'd like to. Much appreciated if you do. Bless up.